So my next question is why population control is required?
Okay. Population control is required because, yeah, I think we have been discussing about that, because all these problems where you can point a population overpopulation as a reason for almost every problems that we are facing as a country now, from unemployment, from food insecurity, from pollution, from every single thing we can point some way or the other to the overpopulation. So that definitely is we have quite a little resource when it comes to feeding so many people in this country, and that is not only going to affect their health, education, their future. All the children we see on the slums these days, uh, the the resources, they cannot be given to them. So if we have a little population to cater to, I think this resources can be better utilized, and definitely it will be a much better future for the kids. So in all cases, and health aspect too, we have been discussing about the diseases that spread through because of overpopulation. So obviously, health overpopulation is a major concern when it comes to health and otherwise.
Okay, so overpopulation or population explosion leads to economic problems, social problems, environmental problems, and health problem also. So that is the reason why we need to have population control. Srividya, my next question is, what are the population control or family planning methods which are available in India?
Okay. So, family planning in itself, what does family planning mean? It means that a couple or an individual is uh, is including the knowledge, the attitude, and all the reasonable. They're making reasonable decisions on their life, on their welfare and health of their own family. That is what family planning is. So a major concern in family planning is that we want couples to have wanted kids. We want them to have kids when they want it, and we don't want them to have kids when they don't want it. That is the major concern of family planning. And the next one is that we want them to space it accordingly. Like we have to ensure spacing between the pregnancies. And the next thing is that the couple should have kids in their appropriate age, like in whatever age they are comfortable with and whatever age health wise is uh, suggested for them. And the next one is that they should have have number of children should be according to what they desire. I mean, not just desire, in accordance with the health point of view too. So the number is also a factor there. So this is the main aims of family planning: to have adequate number of kids, to have wanted kids, and to not have unwanted kids, and to space kids. So, what are the methods of family planning? So, family planning, as we call it, as contraception. So, contraception, we can uh, divide it into temporary or permanent methods. Permanent methods is the ones that you opt for when you are satisfied with the family that you have. And the temporary methods are the ones that when you want to preserve your fertility, that is what you opt. So, contraceptive methods, when it comes to that, there is something called as the barrier method. In barrier method, it is the most easiest accessible, most what do you call it? It does not need any expertise to use. It is the most user friendly, and it is the most safe when it comes to side effects. So these things, but the problem with this is that it is very convenient, but at the same time, there is a equal chance for failure in these methods. So in these methods come condoms, which is one of the most popular methods of contraception that we know. We have male condoms and female condoms as well. It is very easily available in pharmacies, in supermarkets even, and it's very user friendly too. People don't need to require a lot of skill to use these contraceptive methods. And the next one is intrauterine devices. Intrauterine device is the preferred mode of contraception when it comes to spacing. So in married couple who want to space, or unmarried couple, however, if they want to space their kids, this is the most used technique. It can be used otherwise too. So this, but the problem with this is that it will require a medical trainee, either a doctor or a trained nurse, to insert these devices into the female body. So this is put into the uterus. As the name suggests, it's an intrauterine device, and this can be non-medicated or medicated. Non-medicated ones, the most common one that we hear about is the copper T, where copper is the anti-spermicidal thing that acts there. And the medicated ones are the ones with hormones in them. So that has a different mechanism of action. Now, the next one is the OCPs, or the oral contraceptive pills, which can be either estrogen or progesterone. So estrogen and progesterone are the two major hormones that regulate the that are present in the female body. And these combinations are used in the pills, which will which will help the contraception. So either you can have it as a combined pill, or you can have just a progesterone pill. So the problem with this is that compliance is required. The patient has to be compliant to this. So it is it's usually taken daily. So the patient has to remember to take it, but it's very user friendly. It's just a pill that you can orally take, and it is available from pharmaceuticals. But the problem is that it cannot be used after soon after pregnancy. If you are lactating, it might hamper with your hormones of the body, and it might even influence the lactation. So that is the problem with the OCPs. And next one is, now this hormones can be also given as implants. Implants are more user friendly, as in you can insert it into your skin. It will be done by your doctor or your trained nurse, or the medical professional. So it will be inserted into, it will be a small rod like thing which can be inserted into your skin, and which will release the medicine at a very slow rate. And there are also depot preparations like TMPA, which is a depot medroxyprogesterone preparation. So these are the different alternatives for contraception. Now there is something called as the emergency pill, which is if a couple has unprotected coitus and doesn't want to conceive, they can, within 72 hours, they can get the emergency pill, which is called as the uh, uh, post-coital pills. It's also called as a post-coital pill that can be taken within 72 hours. And that is also another form of contraceptive device.
So, Dr. Sreevidya, you told about the family planning method. So, I would like to ask you, as you told, ki there are over-the-counter, some are available at the drugstore, and also there are some procedure that has to be done at the hospital with a trained doctor. So, for a couple, so at how the couple will decide whether they have to do it over the counter by buying some condom or a OC pill, or they have to go to a doctor for a cup of tea. How will they decide whether they have to do it on their own, or whether they have to go to a hospital to meet a doctor?
Okay. Now the information about this is available in a lot of places. Like, you can always go to a doctor and your physician or whoever, and decide for yourself what is your compatible, or what is the best suitable option for you. You can talk to your doctor about it. And if your doctor is not available, like in a rural setup, you can always ask the ASHA workers there. They'll also have a little knowledge about contraceptive, not maybe as much as a doctor, but they'll also be able to help you out. And even you could ask any medical professional, rather than just going on to resorting to information from the internet or from peer groups. It's always better to ask a medical professional about all the options that you have on contraception.
Okay, so as these contraceptive methods are available and there are multiple kinds of it, but there is still the people are not using it, many people, and there is major hindrance which prevents people from using these methods. So what would you like to tell something about it? What are
Hmm.
the major hindrance that prevent people from using these methods?
Hmm. So I think the most uh, problematic thing here that is stopping people from using is ignorance. People are not very much aware of their options and availability. I don't think availability is a problem because it is available if you have the right knowledge. It is very easily accessible. As I said, your ASHA worker can give it to you. And I think sex is always a taboo, and that maybe the judgment is what the fear of judgment is what makes the people not come forward and talk about it or ask about their options. So it's not about availability; it's more of awareness, I'd say.
Okay,
And
so
when it comes to the permanent methods, that is sterilization, when it comes to male sterilization, I think there is also patriarchy involved there. A lot of people still don't. Again, it's a lack of awareness as well. People think that it might affect their sex drive, or so they. And also, it's also, as I said, a patriarchal component is also involved there, which makes them expect the female partner to do the uh, sterilization rather than doing a vasectomy, which is much more safer and much more easier than the tubectomy.
okay, so lack of education and awareness in the public is the major reason for which many people are not using these methods. So, thank you, Dr. Sreevidya, for coming to this session and telling us about population growth, and what are the impacts on the health. And also, you touched on the topic of family planning methods. So, thank you for coming and telling us about all these things.
Thank you, Dr. Biplab. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.